Hi, this is Tutor P, and this is lesson 523. The title of today's lesson is the difference between mural, fresco, and graffiti. Yeah, this is one that sometimes comes up in class where students will ask, what's the difference between these three? Okay, somebody wants a screenshot? Do it right now. Let's get right to it. A mural is a very large painting or picture on a wall, ceiling, etc. The word mural derives from the Latin word murus, meaning wall. Okay, let's continue. A fresco is actually a type of mural. It's a type of mural that entails means includes, using water-soluble paints on wet limestone or plaster. So this is the main key part about fresco. It has to be done with this method of painting. So if it's not done with this method of painting, it's not a fresco. Okay. Thus, the paint penetrates the plaster and becomes set as it dries. Okay. So basically, all frescoes usually are murals, but not all murals are frescoes. All right, let's continue. Graffiti could also be considered a type of mural and is mostly done with spray cans of paint. All right, well, this is different. The other types of murals and frescoes are definitely not done with spray cans. All right, let's continue. It is also important to note that there are two types of graffiti. The legal kind, which is more respected, where the artist either gets permission and is usually paid for the art. The second kind of graffiti is the illegal kind, which may sometimes be labeled as vandalism if it is unwanted. This may depend on the quality. If the quality is exceptionally good and people leave it there and people start to appreciate it as art, it may still be considered a mural. But if it's not, if the owner got mad and he painted over it quickly or whatever reason, it may not be. All right, let's continue. Often graffiti is more modern with a deep meaning behind it. But other times it may simply have a political message. Yeah, a lot of the graffiti in, some other countries like South American countries, African countries, a lot of times it's just, about some political ideology or something that's written on there. I don't know if you really even would consider that to be art. Obscenities, of course, dirty words that probably shouldn't be in the art category either. Or messages not always understood. Yeah, sometimes it's some sort of a code, or maybe the person who wrote it knows what it is, or maybe a few other people, but maybe the average people don't even understand what was written there. Okay. Gangs also sometimes use it to mark their territory. Art, again, I don't know if you would consider this art. Graffiti is most often outdoors. Now, graffiti far majority of the time is outdoors, where murals and frescoes could and often are indoors. All right, let's continue. And we got 7 examples here to try to really give you a good idea. Here's the first one. They decided to have a mural painted on the lobby walls of that building as a decoration. Yeah. And of course, like I said, this could be just, anybody painting on a wall, and, they probably hired a good artist to do it. So this would be a mural. Number 2, any artwork painted on walls inside or outside and done with a variety of painting techniques could be called a mural. So this is what we said, So some, the frescoes and, of course, graffiti could be called murals as well. All right, let's continue here. Many of the most famous frescoes were done in former times. Yeah, we don't have as many in our modern times. Often of a religious nature during the Renaissance. That's when it was probably most popular during that time. All right, let's continue. Number 4 here, the most famous fresco is probably Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel in the Vatican. All right. Number 5, well, this is an example where it's not religious. The Coronation of Charlemagne is a famous fresco by Raphael. Raphael was also known for doing a number of frescoes, the artist, Raphael. All right, now, number 6 here. A lot of the most famous graffiti murals could also be considered to be street art, because a lot of times it is outside. Number 7, Cornbread and Bainsky are two of the most famous graffiti artists. Yes, so, and, I remember when I grew up in New York City, there was graffiti all over the New York subways and stuff. A lot of it was in the category of what we talked about as obscenities or sometimes little codes that you didn't understand. Although every now and then you did see a really good picture and you did kind of admire it. It was probably one that was done in a train yard, though, because it takes a lot of time to spray paint, and make it look really good, like a really good artwork. So anyway, that's the way we usually have it. Anyway, I hope you can clearly see now the difference between all three, or when you're more likely to use one word than the other. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. Hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.